In order to be a good trial attorney, you have to understand people. What do I mean by that? You have to have an understanding of how people think, different perspectives, and how they might act in a given situation. So for example, how am I going to convince a mostly conservative jury about why they should care about the self-defense of my client who might be a black man? Just think of any good trial attorney, They're typically people we would deem approachable, relatable, but more importantly, they're going to be people who can understand other perspectives and then bridge the gap. So that's the gap between you and your client and the prosecutor, your client and the witness, you and the witness, you and the judge, you and the jurors with one another. And you'll figure out pretty quickly, especially when you're talking to jurors, that people have perspectives and ideas that you would have never even considered in the moment, but are equally important to your client's case. So my number one advice to people who might be in high school, college, even law school, thinking that trial work is something that they want to do, get a job in the service industry. The kind of people who thrive most in trial work are typically people who have backgrounds or have worked a job that is fast paced and has just exposed you to a ton of different people. And that's because that exposure to that many groups of different people that you might not ordinarily interact with will give you invaluable information that you can then apply to trial work in the future. You're not going to be able to find that bridge unless you have that kind of exposure. So that's why I say